What's up, everybody? This is going to be your Black Cat trial guide for the first node, that is the unrestricted node, and nodes 5 and 9. Those are going to be your Brawler nodes. We're also going to break down in every single one of these guide videos the difficulty that is used in the gameplay as well as the packs that are used in the gameplay. Let's get into it. For the purpose of these video guides, we're going to be showcasing gameplay of difficulty 10 with the following packs equipped. Let's talk about them a little bit before we go. Agents of Nowhere. This is going to be the hardest pack because it's going to affect node 10 the most, and it's going to affect node 9 a little bit, but that's okay. Next, we're going to equip Hired Help. This doesn't really change much at all. Self-Preservation doesn't change much at all. Sinister Symbiosis hurts you a little bit on node 2, but it's very manageable. Snake Eyes is a double-edged sword, but it's more beneficial than not. Ballroom Blast, the same thing. And then Second Wind is going to be the pack that kind of dictates how well you do in this trial. You're going to be using that quite a bit to rebalance your Morgan and your Doom on all 4 nodes. And then World of War is something you just simply have to have equipped to make sure your Nowhere team actually pops off. For a top 50 run, you're going to need all these equipped, plus the Experimental Serum max health 30%. We're not going to be doing that in this video. And quickly, before we get into the gameplay, this is not supposed to be a guide to get you top 50. This is supposed to be a guide to help you get top 500 or just push as much as possible. So what I would suggest, if you cannot do difficulty 10, which the vast majority of people can't do, drop it down to difficulty 9. They're going to lose a lot of their life. And I assume this is still going to be good for a top 500 run. I cannot imagine a world where people are doing difficulty 10, 500 of us. So if you can't do difficulty 9, then drop it down to difficulty 8 and still run all of these packs. If you're having a hard time getting through node 10 and it's more beneficial to get the 10th node because you simply cannot do one difficulty higher, unequip Agents of Nowhere and make sure you get that 10th and final node done. All right, so heading to the first node, it's important to note that you do not need to prep a single cooldown from any character for this trial. So I'm going to go in with characters that I just can't use anywhere else. We're going to go in with the Eternals, Kang, Kestrel, and Apocalypse. If you wanted to try and min-max this, if you're really pushing your roster, you can try and bring in Red Hulk here with Val. Maybe you can bring in Archangel, Apocalypse, and somebody that is not a global controller, is not a mystic villain. So make sure you're not using a character like Magneto or Dark Beast, as you will need their cooldowns when we get to node 7. So let's just go in here with this. We're going to quickly bang out this node. But for this node, I mean, it's not exactly a pushover because there is a Nobu and it causes a little bit of RNG issues on the revives. The Electras are obviously very, very annoying. But honestly, if we were to lose here, it'd be fine because then we can come in with a multitude of other teams to clean it up and finish it up. That's not going to affect how our final nodes are going to go in the other sections. All right, let's go ahead and use the special here. We're just going to save that ultimate for Morgan Le Fay when she drops in. There she is. Let's take out as many people as we can. Just try and get a stun on the Morgan. And put all our attention on the Morgan. Apocalypse is obviously going to finish this matchup in just 1 second. And there you go. So that's it for node 1, guys. This is not a stage node. This is going to be the first trial where we're not actually needing to prepare a single character. First Brawler node is most important to be ready for the second wave. This is the team we're going to use to get through the first wave very quickly while also having abilities ready for the second wave. We do have Abomination, Red Hulk, Val, Quicksilver, and Deathpool. Notice that Red Hulk and Abomination are both Raiders. The only reason we're bringing Abomination in is because he does have a stun available for the Morgan or for the Gambit when the second wave drops in, and because he gives Red Hulk 30% health. Let's get in there and show how this is a very dynamic fight. The first thing we're going to do is get a turn meter rewind over on the Wong, and the second thing we're going to do is kill the Longshot. We want to stop any sort of turn meter manipulation in favor of the Dadbro team from happening, and he is the character that does give the 20% speed bar on crit. Next, we'll go ahead and use the basic. We don't want to use the death pool special as we're going to save that for the second wave. We'll target over on the multiple man in the middle in order to take out this dupe. If the dupe spawned elsewhere, we'd probably target over there. The idea is we're trying to work down the Shadow Star as quickly as possible. We'll make sure we get a turn meter rewind on the enemy Shadow Star. And we'll continue to do damage to him. We'll save Abomination's abilities for the next wave. Now the dupes are actually doing more good for us than they're doing harm. They're getting Red Hulk his ultimate ready. Let's go ahead and take out all these dupes that don't have death proof and prep the ones who do have death proof. This is going to take out one multiple man and give us lots of attacks for our death pool. Let's go ahead and take out the enemy Polaris. And now we'll start working on the enemy Wong. We do want to save the ultimate from Quicksilver for the next wave or even for the next node. We also want to save the Red Hulk abilities for the next wave as well. The next wave is incredibly difficult. Now we just need to clean up these dupes, and we are ready for the next wave. Now, we do want to get ability block on as many of the enemies as possible. Let's go ahead and throw this on Agatha right in the middle. We're going to spread this with our death pool. We're going to do the turn meter rewind with offense down on the enemy team. Please note that this is going to push a few of them dropping that ability block. And with the Heartlesses, we do want to make sure that they don't get to use their ultimate. Oddly enough, because Agatha died, they didn't actually drop into stealth, which means we are greatly protected from these Heartlesses. Now it's time for the Morgan. Feel free to use the special from Quicksilver here. You could also use the ultimate if you feel very threatened. Let's take out the members as quickly as possible. We have no use of the Red Hulk ultimate yet. We'll have that ready for the next wave, next node. And finally, we'll take down the Morgan Le Fay. Now we have a lot of good cooldowns heading into the next node still, so our Brawler section is looking very good. Heading into the second Brawler node, we're going to utilize a burn attack. To do so, we'll use Zombie Iron Man, who is in a corner, with the Weapon X members and Black Panther 1 million. So we got a lot of war characters here, and what we're doing is we're feeding into the Zombie Iron Man passive bleed effect, where we're going to get mind controlled. So what we want to do is get as many bleeds off as possible, targeting Peggy Carter, because we do want her to be the one that dies above everybody else. After that, we'll get a defense down out there on the Peggy. Again, this is going to make sure she takes as much damage as possible. We do want her to die, and everybody else that either takes damage or goes down with her is just extra bonus. The reason we have Zombie Iron Man hiding in the corner is because we don't want him to die, because then his effect stops, right? So you see lots of good damages coming in. There we go, Peggy Carter. So we've taken out most of the members. We've now pulled the most devastating abilities from these Captain America World War IIs as well. That ultimate is an absolute devastating ability. And I guess we'll do a little bit more damage over here. I don't think we're going to kill anybody at this point, nor do I think we actually want to kill anybody. We don't want the next wave to start in. We want to accept it in. So let's try not to kill that Bucky Barnes. There we go. They're going to get actually big heals from this now. And unfortunately, that does give a lot of energy. Well, there we go. We pulled off another one. Perfect. That is going to be a good burn attack for our main team. So we'll now throw our main team back in. It's also a good time to note that for this node, we can absolutely swap out Abomination for Shang-Chi, for Titania, for Gamora. We have lots of options at our disposal in the Brawler section. It's also important to note that we don't have to one-shot this node. As long as we get it to about 2 or 3 members left, we have many other amazing Brawler characters that we can pair with Miss Marvel just to get through this. Let's open up with the Red Hulk Ultimate. And then we are actually going to hold on to the Val Ultimate until we hit the next wave. Obviously, that is a huge damaging ability, and if we can save that, we might as well. Same thing for the Quicksilver. Let's just do as much damage as possible here. And Abomination and Deathpool will help tap everybody in after that. Notice we did leave the Captain America who we watched do his ultimate. We left him alive. Let's go ahead and throw the Quicksilver ultimate, try and give our Red Hulk a little bit of protection. He did take quite a beating there. We'll now turn our attention to the World War II Iron Fist Orsons. They do a really devastating stun. Let's get that Val ult out of the way. Puts trauma on the enemy team and just devastating damage. And we'll continue the course, taking out this Orson. That Maria Hill is going to use her ultimate turn 1 because we pushed her to 50%. But that's okay. Let's take out this Orson. And now let's take out the Maria. And we'll start working on the other Orson now. We got an ability block here. I'm actually going to throw it at Squirrel Girl to stop her heal. We're just going to let Iron Fist stun somebody. And Iron Fist Orson is now down. So we'll turn our attention over to the Squirrel Girl. Let's use the ultimate as it just does more damage. We can now stun the Viv to stop the blinds from happening. And we can finish off the Squirrel Girl. We'll turn our attention to Kate. Get a nice little rewind on her. We'll use the basic to peel through those dodges and take her out. And now we'll finish up the node. We do not need to save any cooldowns for any of these characters going forward, and definitely do not use Thor Infinity War or Star-Lord Annihilation on this node. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.